Hi, so I've got 3 different ideas to help us celebrate and reflect on the gift of the Holy Spirit through this week. Hopefully there's a bit of something for everybody. We've got something messy, something creative, and a poem to finish at the end. So feel free to dip into these ideas, make use of them if you find them helpful. So let's have a think about the messy activity. So for our first Pentecost activity, you're going to need some paint, ideally some red and some yellow, some straws, ideally paper, I've only got plastic, and some coloured bits of card, and we're going to make some paint blowing pictures. Now this works really well using the red and the yellow on black card, but I haven't got black card, I've only got red and green, but if you've got black card that works really well. And this is great fun for making a mess. So basically you start just by putting some paint in blobs onto your cardboard, ideally with some newspaper down kits, and then using your straw to blow the paint that you put onto the card to make some cool abstract patterns, which hopefully, because we're using the red and the yellow, will look a little bit like Pentecost flames. So let's have a go. Okay, so I've cheated a little bit because I did this before, but you get the idea. You can start to make some really fun patterns, and if you want, you can write things on them or write prayers on the top, and use them to decorate your house. So that's our first messy activity. For our creative activity, all you need is some coloured pencils and a colouring sheet, which I will attach a link in the description bar below. And colouring is a great way of praying and reflecting, and this is a great colouring sheet that I found online which helps us to pray for the Holy Spirit to fill us. And if we finish it, it looks something a bit like this. And as you're doing it, really think and pray as you're colouring it, and ask to be filled with the Holy Spirit as you're doing it. And you may also have other colouring books as well, particularly for adults. There's sort of adult colouring books as well, which can be really good, really relaxing, and really good ways of reflecting on the scriptures. And then, very last of all, I found this poem online about Pentecost by a great poet called Malcolm Guite. And again, I'll put a link to his website in the description. And I don't know if you like poetry or you find it helpful, but I think this is a great poem in helping us to go a bit deeper into some of the themes of Pentecost. I'll read to you now, but you can go and look it up elsewhere. And if you like, during the week, you can kind of drag it out and read it again and reflect. So this is called Pentecost. Today we feel the wind beneath our wings. Today the hidden fountain flows and plays. Today the church draws breath at last and sings as every flame becomes a tongue of praise. This is the feast of fire, air and water, poured out and breathed and kindled into earth. The earth herself awakens to her maker and is translated out of death to birth. The right words come today in their right order, and every word spells freedom and release. Today the gospel crosses every border, all tongues are loosened by the Prince of Peace. Today the lost are found in his translation, whose mother tongue is love in every nation. So I hope that's helpful. I hope one of those ideas you might be able to take and use through the week and to reflect on the gift of the Holy Spirit and for your prayers. Thank you. Goodbye.